Welcome to the Better Pairs Podcast. Join Dr. Jason Fujikawa for his insights on theology, philosophy, culture, and the verbal expressions we use to relate meaning and reality to one another. Make no mistake, this is a podcast for nerds, but particular nerds who are searching for old wisdom made ever new. To learn more about the Better Pairs cultural empire, please visit betterpairs.com. Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Jason Fujikawa. Season 4 of the Better Pairs podcast continues with its anti-penultimate episode, Addiction Anonymous. The full Season 4 schedule of episodes is now posted, so head over to betterpairs.com/schedule and be sure to sign up to our email list so that you are the first to know of future episode drops. Please stick around after the episode proper to learn more about Better Pairs, our in-person participatory reading fellowships, and how you can support its fruit for the human soul. And now, on with the episode. Season 4, Episode 10, Addiction Anonymous. Amid a world of euphemisms and circumlocutions, addiction is a taxonomy which accurately pins down a malady both relationally and clinically. Perhaps it is our American proclivity to err on the side of licentiousness in the expression of liberty, which causes an almost reflexive denial when confronted by the wreckage of our lives or the intervention of friends and family concerning the addiction in dictatorial control of our lives. Addiction is rooted in dicere, the Latin verb meaning to say, speak, but here as a perfect passive participle converted into a third declension noun. To be addictus, or to have an addictio, is to be spoken for, that is, not to speak for oneself, a surrender of self-agency, or rather often, an abdication. It should be noted to us, in the modern milieu, that self-agency, self-advocacy, is not always and everywhere a good for us. Indeed, there is perhaps no surer path to the formation of a genuine hellion than to grant a young human being such undue authority and autonomy. Childhood is a certain natural slavery, due to our unfitness at birth and, for a considerable time afterward, to care for our basic and developmental needs. This tutelage of parental custody, which indeed is designed to keep us safe, is often filled with instruction in familial and social norms, and compulsory education. In times of old, when children were seen and not heard, a presumption was that someone, the father unless absent, spoke for his children. He would answer for them and be answerable for their behavior in courts of law and the court of public opinion. He had, after all, given over to his progeny his surname, the cognomen by which their collective lots were bound in the lottery of birth. While the jurisprudence of legal courts has been eroded at the legislative and juridical levels, and the court of the courtier and courtesan remains modeled to the same modern mode, there remains at least one juridical relation obsessed with juridical authority, with who speaks for whom, with addiction in its literal and common parlance, a relation absent charity and grace, adhering to the law alone. I am referring here to the demonic, and the claims of demons for the domain of persons, places, and things. Of all beings great and small, the demons, the great bane of our first parents, recognize the spiritual headship of husbands and fathers in any claim to exercise possession, an extreme form of addiction, from wife or child. A father handing his daughter over to the bridegroom, and a father accepting his child on his knees, is not just accepting the obligation for physical provision and protection, but also spiritual defense and flourishing. Beyond even this status of paternal authority, the demonic, so revealed, themselves acknowledge the apostolic authority of the bishop, the local ordinary, deputed to the appointed priestly exorcist. In this way, the legal rigidity of demons serves to affirm the apostolic truth of the Catholic Church in a most unexpected way. Demonic possession, again, is an extreme degree of addiction in the literal sense. Returning to addiction more broadly understood, most addictions are classified by their undue desire or cupidity towards some substance, that is, for its effect on the mind or body, or towards some behavior, for its similar short-lived psychosomatic effect. For such addicts, Their lives have become unmanageable, and their autonomy has been replaced by a certain powerlessness to their addiction. The admission of this reality is the foundational first step in the 12-step recovery process pioneered by the founders of Alcoholics Anonymous. Today, 12-step recovery extends the wide spectrum of addiction to substances such as Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, and addiction to behaviors such as Sexaholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Codependents Anonymous, and Al-Anon. As the names of these programs suggest, these 12-step recovery groups are intentional about the anonymity of their members. Traditionally, members identify themselves only by first name. From what has been explored above, this anonymity appears discordant with the restoration of paternal protection, whether at the natural level of the family or the ecclesial level under apostolic authority. This oxymoronic juxtaposition of anonymity seeking restoration is clarified by steps 2 and 3, which both recognize the healing authority of God as higher power and an act of faith in asking God to restore health, that is, sanity, to the addict. The success of anonymous 12-step recovery in providing healing for those hurting under addiction is an appeal to a nomen more common than a cognomen, an appeal to the sender, the apostellon of the apostles. Our addictions fall mute before the immutable. Desires which speak for their powerless victims fall impotent before the victorious sire who spoke us into being. Thank you for listening to the Better Parents Podcast. The Better Parents Podcast is offered free through the wonder of the internet, but made possible through the continued contributions of our listener audience. Our crowdfunding program, Better Pairs Leaves, is simple and some might say elegant in design. For your monthly contribution of $12 or more to Better Pairs, you will receive fractional 24-karat gold in the form of goldbacks in the mail, along with our monthly update on the work of Better Pairs. Please visit betterpairs.com/leaves for more information and to contribute. Better Pairs Leaves is like a Patreon, but with fractional physical gold instead of behind-the-scenes and blooper reels. If you have been listening to the Better Pairs podcast for some time and recognize that the ideas shared stand out from other offerings of the internet, are worthy of sharing, and are worthy of your support, this community-driven contribution program is for you. If you are an adult in the Oklahoma City area, consider attending one of our participatory reading fellowships. Currently, we are reading the plays of William Shakespeare, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the novels of Jane Austen. More information and registration are linked at betterpairs.com. Thank you for your continued patronage of attention, prayers, and Federal Reserve notes.